All right. What is this? Okay, get rid of that. What is going on, team? I hope everything's been well. I just wanted to jump on here to give a trade recap for today and also an explanation on where where I've been. Right. So recently I've been busy with family um and also cousins and weddings and things like that, but also been having relationship issues, right? Um, it took some time to fully figure out, what's how to work through it, and you know, um, that is important to me. Um, not, this trading stuff. There will be time for this trading stuff. It's always gonna be there, but you know, I have to take care of my loved ones first, make sure they're good and they're feeling okay, and importantly, my partner as well, my girlfriend. Been together 2 years, and been going through some stuff recently. So um, it really takes a lot of effort and a lot of kind of thinking to um, kind of get things back on track. That's why I have been taking a break. Um, I just met with my girl, and we sorted some things through. We came up with a plan on how to move things forward, and we're working on it. No one's perfect, but I really love this girl with all my heart. She does too. Um, and yeah, gotta keep it moving, gotta keep it pushing. You know, um, but I just wanted to say that trading will always be there, but to look out for your loved ones as well. Look out for them first. You can't trade when you have a bad mindset. Psychology plays a huge factor in trading, and you want to make sure that you're in the right headspace. Before even taking the trade. You know, as it brings clarity to your mind, knowing that your loved ones are good and they're taken care of, and if you got a girl or you got a boyfriend, making sure they're good and they're happy. Before you can even think about taking the trade. All that comes into account when you think about psychology, right? So yeah, just want to let you guys know that I am back on the grind, giving recaps on the trades I do take, wins or losses. We will journey. I will kind of video the journey along the way about why I'm taking trades and kind of why, you know, where I'm thinking to target and things like that. So, jumping right into it, um, just wanted to speak on the trade I took today, right? So, I did mark out London Session Open. So, coming into London, right? I kind of drew out my draws of liquidity where I think their price could head to throughout the 2 hours that I trade, which in this case was these highs. Not this high. This high was formed at 9 o'clock, but I did put that there just in case we did flip biases. These highs, and these highs, and also these low resistance lows down here, and also these lows down here. Okay, so with that kind of hourly bias set, as well as um, the high time frame bias set, let's jump right into it. So coming into market open, right? We have that line across. That mark is 8 o'clock daylight saving, so 8 o'clock is our open. I wanted to see what this fair value gap did, right? As you can see, before um, London session opened, we did have that huge dump, right? I did think that we would continue on the trend and take out these highs at least before coming down lower, but what we um, did instead is take out these kind of, I'm not sure if these are hourly highs, but no, they look like 5 minute highs or 15-minute highs, but we did take out these 15-minute or 5 minute kind of highs over here. which caused that kind of displacement down, inverse this gap here, and also inverse this gap here, which is drawn out over here. And on the way down, inversing these gaps, we also created 5 minute fair value gaps here as well. Um, and when London opened, we did get a huge rip down to the downside, um, which in this case, once we London open, I did expect us to fill some sort of gap to continue on the trend to take out these lows, which was my take profit. So with that in mind, let's jump into the low time frames, right? So London opens, we tap into this fair value gap. Now I'm looking for an entry, right? We tap into that POI, um, to because I do think that price is heading to these liquidity points down here. So I wanted to catch that kind of continuation to these lows, um, to which we will take out these lows, but also fill in this huge imbalance here, which is also a 4 hour imbalance created. So um, we're hitting really strongly with this huge displacement down. I did think that once we took out these lows, it wasn't enough, because I wanted to see what this fair value gap did. As if we were to inverse it, this liquidity sweep would have been enough to at least take out Asia highs and previous session New York highs, right? So checking on Forex Factory as well, there wasn't really um, nothing much we could really work from. Um, there wasn't really high impact news, but there is bank holiday for the USD tomorrow. So USD must have a certain day where all banks are closed, some sort of international day or whatever. So we will not be trading tomorrow. But for today, we did catch a trade. With that in mind, let's get right into it. Okay, so 5 minute fair value gap, right? We get that huge push down. London session opens. I expect a retracement into this 5 minute fair value gap here, in which we did get that retracement, and now I'm looking for entry. I'm going into the 1 minute, right? So with that huge push up, I'm looking to see kind of what these fair value gaps do, right? Because we are technically, if we are following the trend, we should be continuing down lower to take out these hourly lows down here. But with a huge move like this, we could at least make some higher highs before putting in that huge low, which was down here. So I was kind of just being patient. Um, I did see that we ripped through this fair value gap and this fair value gap, but to fill in what? This fair value gap, right? Because these fair value gaps shouldn't go unnoticed, right? So we fill in, because when we get a huge push like that, we expect to for price to fill in some sort of imbalance, right? When we've got multiple imbalances, you know, um, and we push through them, it's obviously to fill something. So I wanted to see if we could break this high, right? Because this high is significant. That's the high that was put in. Once we tapped into this fair value gap, thinking, this is where sellers are willing to step in again, right? So after filling this 1 minute fair value gap, I'm looking to see whether we put in a higher high, which we were unable to. Okay, so now I am looking for a gap, right? I'm looking for an inverse gap. As we can see that we're unable to take this high. I'm looking for a gap. We inverse this gap, this recent gap, with displacement. So that was my entry. So right about um, with this candle near, I kind of entered a little bit too early, but with this candle near about to close, after inversing both this gap and this gap, near about to close, I entered, and which price spiked up a little bit. Stops were above these highs. Since we were dealing with 1 minute highs, stops were placed a little bit above, just to account for spread in case price wants to, tap out these highs before continuing down lower. That was our protection. We did have a inversion fair value gap, which did hold, which we displaced out of, which was my confirmation to continue on this trade, to hold this trade. As if we inverse this gap, if we inverse this gap once again, those were signs that we are just going to put in that higher high before breaking that higher low, that lower low again. Sorry, that lower high before putting in that lower low. So that gap did hold, and yeah, so I did enter on this candle almost about to close, but we kind of closed here, and stops were again here, and take profit were uh these hourly lows, tapping into this fair value gap again. And what do I always say, that it's a free trade if you take a trade off liquidity sweep into a high time frame kind of fair value gap. It's automatic. You can definitely can catch some sort of move up. Um, it sucks that price didn't come up and tap into these 5 minute inversions. That would have given us a good but again, we were working with draws on liquidity for today, which were these lows were taken out, these highs and these highs, and we were closer to these lows. So continue on the trend to take out those lows down there. So with managing my trade, once we did inverse this fair value gap, this huge fair value gap here, stops were at break even. Oh no, sorry. Oh no, not this fair value gap. Um, these lows down here. Once we broke these lows, stops were at break even. Just because you do want the trade to breathe a little bit, as we were fighting this 1 minute fair value gap at the time. We were fighting that. We did break through with displacement, and we tried to get that push out of it after taking out these lows. But again, um, buyers was really strong in this one, and sellers were able to step in. So yeah, break even was at this point, at which this now became a risk-free trade, and targeting these hourly lows down here, which gave us a little bit of a scary push at the start. If we did close these highs, as I probably would have um, left the trade. Yeah, taking out my small losses and called it a day. But again, we did get that huge wick up, and sellers were able to take control, and we closed within this inversion fair value gap, as we did get that displacement down. We go up, we get that huge wick up, taking out some sort of highs up here, or filling in this order block here to continue on the trend to go on lower. So with that in mind, today was a win for today. I apologize for the missed days, guys. I think it's been like 2 weeks, but hope you guys can forgive me, as I've just been sorting some things through, and I wanted to have a clear mindset and a clarity kind of mindset coming into these markets, as these markets are not forgiving whatsoever. They do not care about your family. They do not care about your loved ones. They will murder you, right? So yeah, dub for today. No trade tomorrow. I'll see what opens up in London session, and we'll go from there. So if I post a video late tomorrow, it will be because I took a trade during New York session. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Other than that, I will see you guys when I see you guys. Alright, peace.